Remember at summer camp? My mom never let me go to summer camp because she said that's for rich white people. That's what she said. That's what she said. And she was like, Puerto Rican girls don't go to summer camp. So then she found out she could send me to summer school for free. And well, guess where I had to go? She was like, it's better than summer camp. It's summer school. I just wanted to go to summer camp one time in my life. I saw all these movies about kids going to camp and shit, and I'm like, whoa, this looks so cool. She's like, that's for rich. She's like, we are not rich, and you're Puerto Rican. That's not for you. I'm like, Mom, that's so fucked up. And then I remember one time my brother was like, you know that's not real, right? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it's all bullshit. Summer camp sucks balls. I'm like, my life is a lie? She would always say stuff like that. When I would ask her for stuff, she would always be like, you're Puerto Rican, that's not for you. And I'm like, what the fuck? I couldn't have Lunchables because she said that Lunchables were not for Puerto Rican children, and Lunchables were for rich people, and Lunchables were not for Lunchables were not for Puerto Rican children. Puerto Rican children don't eat Lunchables. But it was everything. It was everything. It was everything. I couldn't even. She didn't want me to eat cafeteria food because she said that was for rich people too. Cafeteria food was for people could afford it, the wealthy. So she'll pack my food. But also, I couldn't really eat cafeteria food, so... All fun is for rich people. Yeah, but see, I'm stupid because when I was a kid, she would say all this shit to me, but yet I was in, like, dance class, and I was in, like, private vocal lessons, and I was in all this shit. I'm just like, what? I didn't stop to think about that shit. But then again, she said stuff like that was worth it because it was an investment in my future. She would tell me the only thing I have to be concerned about is school and perfecting talents and things that I like to do. I remember when I was a kid, she never wanted to buy me toys. Like, I didn't really get toys. She would buy me books. I used to read a lot as a kid. I had hundreds of books as a kid. But that was all I could do because my mom didn't let me buy, like, toys and shit. I'm glad I got into books. It was good. Now I can't read for shit. I don't have, like, the concentration to read. Also has to do with like the whole like first generation stuff because they wanted me to graduate high school, they wanted me to go to college because they didn't do those things, you know what I mean? My mom would always tell me that like Latinos always have something to prove. Like we always have to prove ourselves in society because we came from very small beginnings and we're stepping into a world where people just judge us for being us. She's proud. She's very proud of me. She is confused. She still doesn't understand things properly. And sometimes I have to like remind her that things are different. Because sometimes she just doesn't get it. But she's proud of me. Does she understand that what like Vtubing and shit? Does my mom understand all this stuff? She's trying to understand. She still calls it my little show. Like, I know you have to do your little show, but I was telling her I'm doing a third subathon and she was like, good luck. She doesn't understand what it is though. She just knows that I'm working nonstop, quote unquote, or doing my little show 24/7. That's what she says. The other day, my mom was like, "What was it? It was an event. It was some sort of event that happened." And my mom was like, "Oh, did your little show go well?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then my sister was like, "She had so many people watching her," and she goes, "Oh, how many? Like 50? 100?" And I'm like, yes. When I won the video game award and it got sent to my house, and it's in my house now, my mom tried to lift it and she was like, it's so heavy. You could kill somebody with that. I can't lift it. I had to have my sister lift it and my dad like lifted it. Now he can't lift it. It's way too heavy for him. But my mom was like staring at it the other day and she's like, I can't believe you won an award for being crazy on the computer. I was like, neither can I. What the heck? Yeah, because she says that sometimes I sound crazy. I have like soundproofing in my room, but sometimes I get loud and she's like, you just sound crazy. She's like, I wonder what the neighbors would think. I work in home security because I'm here at home, securing the home all the time. A real life Kevin McAllister. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, man, who would have thought that like me f***ing around on the computer would have led to this, huh? Crazy. I'm sure that's how my mom feels too. Cause my mom, you know, to my mom, like, being on the computer is a waste of time. She's only now understanding that, like, people that aren't sick have jobs on the computer, like, streaming. Because every time I talk to her about, like, people that I know through streaming, I go, oh yeah, my friend da-da-da, or my friend da-da-da. She's like, oh, so what's wrong with them? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's only now starting to understand. Because, like, for the longest time, I've said on stream before, my mom thinks that people only become streamers and YouTubers and, like, take jobs online because they're sick and they can't leave their house. Because why would you want to be on a computer all day? That's her thought process. So to her, like, that's what it is. Tech people don't... Well, to her, she thinks that tech people get into that job because they're too ill to have a normal job. That's what she thinks. I am not joking. So that's why, like, every time I talk to her, like, when I talked to her about Connor the first time, she was like, what's wrong with him? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, what disease does he have? And I'm like, he has hemophilia, but that's not... But he doesn't have, like, a problem. And then when I talk to her about people... Every time it never fails. The first thing she asks me is, what's wrong with them? Are they okay? And I'm like, they're totally fine. They're normal humans. People just work online now, and people want to be YouTubers and streamers and all this stuff, and that's what people want to do. And it, like, blew her mind that, like, you could have a job at the with the computer. Like, anything that has to do with, like, the internet or computer is, like, she doesn't understand how... She couldn't fathom it, but now she's, like, slowly coming into the idea. And I think it's cute because, like, when my sister was around, you know, when my sister comes to visit, she was like, you know, you should see if you can get a job on the internet too. Because my sister, you know, I told you guys my sister's coming to me saying she feels like she's lost, like, her creativity, da da da. And she's like, you should really, maybe you would want to do it. And I just think it's crazy that, like, now my mom's, like, thinking that it's a normal career now to do stuff like this. And I think it's interesting and it's nice. コミュニケーター